We had a judge in Strasbourg. Now, there were lots of other claims that had gone on already, but we had a judge in Strasbourg the other night, part of the European Court of Human Rights, that said, no, you've got to rethink all of this, it can't happen. Are we going to be able to put a Rwanda plan or anything along the lines that Australia did into practice, all the while we're part of the ECHR?
Yeah, so I think another point to make, Nigel, is this has been going for a long time. It's playing out very publicly now in headlines, but I know this has been playing out for a long time in immigration enforcement, that the normal policy now for enforcement officers is they will be told to go and arrest somebody, they'll be told they're removal ready. That's quite a big operation. You have to go and get people into detention, you have to get their documents, you have to find flights, you have to... Lots and lots of money and work spent, but the expectation almost is now that when you get close to the steps of the aircraft, this is going to be stopped, and it's not going to be stopped because of the Home Secretary or the Home Office. It's going to be stopped because of an intervention by the courts, usually on grounds of human rights or asylum.
All of this, I mean, the Human Rights Act was the European Convention on Human Rights being put into UK law by Tony Blair. I'm asking you the question again. Are we going to be able to actually take back control? Because clearly we haven't got it at the moment. Are we going to be able to do that all the while we're still signed up to ECHR?
I'm not sure we can, Nigel, because we need to be able to interpret human rights, and these are conventions going back to the 50s, in a way that meets the public interest. So what is in the public interest to do about the migrant crisis now? It must be first and foremost to stop the smugglers and to stop the boats coming across. But if we're saying, well, we can't do that because an interpretation has been put upon our immigration and asylum laws by European court, which is what we've termed, I did some work at the Policy Exchange on this, on judicial overreach, if you like, where judges have constantly come up with new judgments saying, well, actually, no, that's not right. It's not illegal to claim asylum. It's not illegal to come here. You can't send people. We slavishly followed those rules, Nigel, for a long time, and this means that immigration control in terms of returns has been diminished by the intervention of the international justice system.
Yes.
So the challenge is, can we not reinterpret the international order? I don't think anybody wants to rip up human rights. I mean, we were the founders of human rights after the war, so I think everyone's got human rights in their soul.
Yes, I think the question here is, I mean, are we not capable of providing our own level of freedoms, protections and human rights? The country of Magna Carta, the country actually that's got one of the best and fairest and least corrupt judicial systems in the world.
But we need to look at it in the context of 2022. Not in the context of 1951. We can understand why this happened in 1951. Yes. I think people can, who are as old as me anyway, can fully understand what happened, why that was in those days. But now, what's happened is that this sort of permeability of human rights law and international law into human rights means that we cannot really control our borders, I'm afraid. So everybody's, having a go at the Home Secretary, at the Home Office, and all of these things. But actually, you would think the government, here, they were absolutely sovereign and could make decisions. We're finding we can't. This is a government. They passed a new law here to say we can actually. But I mean, we haven't enacted it yet because we haven't been able to.
Have we taken back control?
No, I'm afraid we haven't. Not yet. But hopefully, there's still hope, Nigel. There's still hope.
Tony Smith, CB.